Welcome to another Todd's
2-Minute Tech Tip Tuesday.
Brought to you by the National RV Training Academy, the largest hands-on RV training academy in America. Hey, before we get to the video, which I know this is the reason why you're here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That way you don't miss anything. Hit the subscribe button now. Thank you. Now, back to our Tech Tip Tuesday. Hey, this week, let's cover just a little bit more about suspension. Now, here's the thing. We got a question that says, hey, Todd, you said to walk around the RV every time before you go out on the road. Got a question, should we actually check our leaf springs every single time? Oh, let's go ahead and get into that. Now, here's the thing. This is just a tech tip. Today, we're actually going to get a deeper dive into, of course, suspension. We're going to bring on pros. Where do you find that? Let me point you over to the new channel, which is called Tech Tips with Todd and Tony. Go over to the new channel, Tech Tips with Todd and Tony, and we get in a deeper dive on a lot of these topics. So let's go ahead and answer the question, okay, do I have to look at my suspension every single time before we go out on the road? Well, here's the thing. In answering this question, in short, the answer should be absolutely yes. Here's the thing. We take for granted that things can break down. And if it's about, putting our eyes on it or just assuming everything is okay, and you ask me, what should we do? Absolutely. Every single time before you go out, part of the things that should be on your checklist before you drive out, yes, check the leaf springs, check your suspension. If you have independent suspension, of course, you're going to look at your torsion axle. Because here's the thing, things break. And what worked the day before may have broke, just in that last leg of you coming in, you haven't noticed it. So absolutely, in that walk around, you want to check those leaf springs, right? It may be you got the wrong size leaf springs and they are flat. They're no longer frowning, or they're no longer smiling, I should say. Or even the hangers that hold the leaf springs break. It could be that, of course, our equilibrium in the middle may be offset, something like that. You don't know that something is broken unless you look at it, or what we don't want to do is find out while we're on the road. Your job when you're driving is to steer straight inside that lane, okay? It's already hard enough with a bunch of yahoos going past you. Now you want to add to that the possibility of, having a bad leaf spring, broken leaf spring, broken hanger. It's going to make it harder for you to steer straight, stay on that road, God forbid, even, get thrown off the highway. I mean, come on. Here's the thing. Am I saying that there's a high potentiality of you being pulled off the road because of your suspension? Oh, geez, I hope not. But if you're going to ask me, should we look at this in our walkthrough, look at that suspension, right? Absolutely. Not only that, look at your tires. You could definitely have an obstruction inside the tire, and your TPMS system won't tell you what's inside the tire. You can have perfect pressure, but if you see that you got a nail in there, especially if it's close to the sidewall, you may want to consider before you take that long trip, we need to take care of that. So as you're looking at the tires, make sure everything's good, then peer in between the tires and start looking at your suspension. So yeah, simple on that one. Absolutely want to look at that. I don't think it adds too much time to the situation. And while you're there, before you go ahead and break out the old school tire pressure gauge and check the temperature. This is the best time to check it, when it's cold, right? That's before it's on the road. Cold is a relative term. It could be 100 degrees outside. That is still relatively cold compared to being traveling. Right? Now, I know that you got TPMS systems that can help check that for you. Makes it a little bit easier. Still something about walking around, with a tire pressure gauge and checking each tire. Because if you put your eyes on it, put your hands on it, there's a lot more that you will learn about your system. And there's your tech tip. All right, before you get to the bloopers, which is why you're here in the first place, the RV industry needs thousands of RV technicians and inspectors, and now is the perfect time to do that. If you want to make more money or have more control over your time, go ahead and click the link below. Or if you just want to learn how to fix your own RV, got something for you there. Head over to rvtechcourse.com and get started today.
Now for the reason that you're out there in the video, roll the bloopers.
I don't think I did. Tire pressure monitor, tire pressure gauge. Bam. One shot. I don't even think I took a breath. Hey, again, head over to Tech Tips with Todd and Tony if you want to get into a deeper dive on the subject matter that we're talking here, right? It's not a replacement, but there's a lot of times we can't cover all the material. It is hard to put in, the answers that you're looking for in such a small format. So head over to Tech Tips with Todd and Tony and get into the deeper dives with us. We'll see you down the road.